Our post-game show on 106.9 The Wolf, and our post-game show in the arena as well. Mike Vandekamp and Kyle Kramer here to join me, and we'll start with the coach. Coach, what a start to this hockey game for your team. 17 seconds in, massive goal to go up 1-0. McNicholas makes it 2-0. Your team was ready for this game. You had to love the start.
Oh, for sure, yeah. We were definitely ready to play. There's no question about it. Everything was good up until the penalties. It was, I don't know if we want to recap the whole game, if that's what we'd like to do, but basically it was a good start, obviously. Penalties hit us hard. We didn't handle the adversity. Like, it took us a long time to get back on track, I think, after kind of being knocked off the rails. Like, you don't show up to the rink and expect to be dealing with that type of situation. That's not really something that I don't think you talk about that. Maybe we have talked about it as a team, and we didn't handle it very good as we would want to, I guess, with regards to just being able to get back on track, because there's lots of opportunities to get kind of refocused and back in the game, even though, even at 3-2 or whatever. I just didn't like the way that we defended. It just took us a long time to get our focus back, I think, after that, and it was really frustrating because, the game was, was overmanaged, and it was a difficult one to play, that's for sure.
Well, you mentioned overmanaged, 5-on-3, down twice in the first period. That seemed to change the whole game. And was it a case of that maybe your guys tried to change their game to adjust to the officiating? Was it just a case in that first period that maybe the ball starts to roll against you and you just have to fight to try and get it back?
Well, yeah, you got to be able to wipe. It's really difficult to get rid of what's happened sometimes when you're in a game, like to just sort of get rid of it and move forward. And I think it just hung in our back of our heads too much, and lots of guys didn't play for a long period of time. You're sitting there, you're sort of stiffening up, and you're just losing your focus. You're frustrated because you're not on the ice. You're frustrated because we're shorthanded. You're frustrated because the game has kind of been taken out of your hands a little bit. But you have to be able to deal with that. That's just part of being in this league. There's nights like that. We have to be more mature and be able to just kind of battle through that and get back on track faster than we did, because it took us about a period and a half to get back on track. And, I was just disappointed with the fact, even at 3-2, we just got to keep the 3 on the board and we end up winning this game. And we can do that. We're good enough to do that. And I just didn't think we were able to settle down enough and get back on track.
Did the emotion of the situation maybe get carried away on some guys? Were some guys too emotional in this game, or was that not a factor in your mind?
I don't know. I hope not. I didn't. I don't know. I sometimes, it's a big game. It has a bit of a, some extra buzz to the game beforehand, and I have to be really careful what I say right now. But I just think it was overmanaged. I mean, the game had no potential of getting out of hand in any way. It was going to be a good hockey game. It should have been allowed to be one. It would have been better, but it just never really had a chance to do that for the longest period of time, really, and that was the frustrating part. But like I said, in our league, you have to be prepared to face that. That just sometimes happens, and that's something that I guess we didn't show enough maturity to be able to handle. But excited in that? No. You saw the start, didn't you? I mean, we played as good as we can play in the first 10 minutes. I'd say we were ready to play.
I look at the third period. There was a lot about the third period that I liked. The second period, they get that 5-3 goal, and it's a big one. But was the pushback the one that you wanted in the third period? Did the guys do what you wanted them to do at that point?
Oh, for sure, yeah. I mean, we didn't quit. It just took us a long time, like I said, to get back out of the funk, a little bit, or the frustration or whatever it might be. You lose your focus just because of what's going on, and everybody wants to win real bad. But we didn't quit. No, the kids played hard and came back, and we were out shooting them at the end of the game, and we kind of found our game again. It just took too long to find it, and we're all responsible for that. We have to be more focused, be able to handle the adversity better, and fight through those situations.
You've been through these wars many times as a head coach. My question to you is, what do you do to make sure that your team doesn't get too down about a game like this? It's a big game. You've been through the wars, and come Monday morning, you're the type of guy that can put it behind you. But do you need to make sure that your players have that same mindset, or do you feel that they do already?
I would hope so, and we're going to definitely do our best to influence them in that direction too. I mean, we have to just get back to work. It's the 23rd game of the year, so it's a disappointing game, but we got a long week ahead to get back and practice and just battle through it and do what we've been doing. We've been on a really good routine lately. Our practice habits have been very good. We've been happy with the work ethic everybody's been bringing forward. We've played really well. We just lost a hockey game by a goal. You know, the world didn't come to an end today. We lost the hockey game by a goal. It's disappointing. It's not good enough. We have to learn from it and be better, but that's really in reality what it is. It's a disappointing one-goal loss, and hopefully we can learn from it. I mean, just a night ago, we might have played the best game we've ever played this year, so it's all still very much right there. We realize that.
You have the Powell River Kings next week on Friday and Saturday. I'm wondering, when you played Cowichan, if you treated it like a series. It was 2 games back-to-back, a home and home. This is 2 games on the road, but do you treat this at all like a series coming up with that Powell River team?
6 periods, I think, one at a time is a really good way to look at it. Just get in and try to get off to a good start on the weekend, win the first period, try to keep momentum as long as we can, and I think that's usually our approach in these situations. 6 periods against the same team, and whoever wins the most of them is likely going to win, gain the most points. And we got a full week to work at things again and get back on track, so I'm sure we'll be emotionally back engaged and so on and so forth, and over the disappointment of tonight, I'm sure, and looking forward. It's our first trip over there this year. It's always a good challenge, and we've been up for the challenge all year on the road, and I'm looking forward to going on the road, and I'm sure the guys are too.
Coach, appreciate the time. We'll let you go. We'll bring in Kyle Kramer right now to join me here. Kyle, you were almost single-handedly the guy that led the charge back. What did you take it upon yourself to try and do in the third period, knowing that you guys needed the 2 goals?
I think we were kind of playing so-so. Halfway through the period, I think we had a little more push. We were getting back-to-back lines. We were getting some momentum going. So, we won a couple shifts. Our line, I know, previous period we weren't winning shifts. So, anytime you get momentum going, there's going to be pushback for sure.
It's a big rivalry. We've known that right from game 1 of the season. They're the team in first place. You're the team in second. I look at those guys and I look at the way that the game was played and the talking and everything that happened after the whistle. Just how heated was it down there from the players' perspective?
Yeah, it's, I think it's, one of the key games in the year. The cliche, you circle it on your calendar. There's we were first place was up for grabs tonight too. So, there's obviously extra incentive there. So, at the end of the day, we didn't get the job done, and got to go back to practice and work hard.
We're seeing the power play start to get going. It manufactured another big goal for you tonight. You were in on it. So, Greg going back to the point, Kevin moving into the middle. It's a big change for you personally. 2 big ones on your units, but it seems to be working. Talk about that a bit.
Yeah, I think firstly, putting Greg on the point there. He's he's played a lot of games a lot of junior games, and I think he's got some poise back there too, and I think that's what we needed too, and with Kevin moving on there, obviously he's got great vision on the ice, good hands, and overall I think we kind of switched our outlook on the power play there, switch guys around and put them in different roles. So. So far it's been working. Hopefully we can keep that going.
By example, you scored a greasy goal to put your team back to within 1. When you're in those tight games in the third period, and you've been in a whole ton of them this year, how important is it to sort of know that getting that greasy goal is going to be the way that you have to do it, and you might end up, as you did, on the seat of your pants in their goal crease by the end of it?
Yeah, when we were talking in the dressing room there, I don't think any comeback I've been a part of, it's been la-di-da. It's always been a greasy goal, and it's you always gotta grind them out, and you win some shifts, and we were fortunate enough to do that in the last half of the period there. But if that last minute, we just couldn't bury that last one. So it's always going to be a greasy goal to start it off.
Right now you're in second place. You had a chance for first tonight, and it's a disappointing thing, but you've been the longest serving guy on this team. I think everybody that's been around for a while in the BCHL knows that there's ups and there's downs, but do you have to say anything to guys tonight or tomorrow on what I'm sure is an off day to make sure that guys know, what, guys, it's a single defeat at game 23 of the season. We move forward here. We'll put the push back. We have another shot at that team, and we still certainly are right in the hunt for first place. Just to repeat, what Vandy said there, we lost by 1 goal tonight. It's not the end of the world. Obviously we're not happy with the situation, but
we've been a mature group all year, and we've been able to, bounce back, through the downs, and, hopefully, with the hard work ahead of us at practice, we can go into Powell River and get back on the right track.
It's not easy to win there, but I know that for you it's fun to play there. It seems to be your style of game that they play in their rink, and that suits you, I think, just fine. So what are your expectations of this weekend?
Anytime you play Powell River, you're going to have to bring your work ethic. Obviously, you look over the years, they've always been a good defensive team. They play their system to a T. So, it comes down to hard work, and, any given night in this league, that's what it comes down to. So, when we go to Powell River, we're going to have to bring our work ethic for sure.
Kyle, thanks very much for this, and we'll look forward to talking to you next week.
Thanks, Dan.
That's Kyle.